Yo, what's going on, guys? We're in the options menu of Resident Evil, Red Dead Redemption 2, and then we're actually going to do a 4K benchmark test. So we're at 3040 by 2160, which is on my 4K Acer 144 Hz display, my Asus Strix RTX 4090, and i9 13900KF processor. So all the graphic settings are fully maxed out. I just previously, before making this video, went through all the settings, make sure they're fully maxed out. Everything is at the highest possible setting. As you can see there, in MSAA I'm going to keep off because we're at 4K, and then we'll do 1440p, 1080p, and then in a separate video I'll do 8K. So let's go ahead and run the benchmark and let's see how it runs. And then my i9 13900KF processor is at 5.7 GHz all-core overclock. And then the E-cores are set to 4.5 GHz, and then my CPU voltage is 1.285 voltage. And I'm running 32 gigabytes of G.Skill Z5 DDR5 PC 6400 RAM. All the Windows updates, latest NVIDIA drivers, including ones that were just recently released, and all motherboard BIOSes and everything's fully updated. And running a RAID 0 setup with 2 Western Digital SN850Xs and RAID 0. So we'll see how this runs at 4K, then we'll do 1440p, and then 1080p, and then in a separate video I'll do 8K resolution. So I'll be quiet and let it run. Surprised it takes that long to load. I would expect to load faster. Maybe because it loads up the entire benchmark, because I know each separate scene is separate, so maybe that's why it takes longer to load, because loading up all the files. Alright, so I'll be quiet and you guys enjoy. Oh, and I am using NVIDIA Shadow Play to record, so keep that in mind, as it may bring down frames per second slightly. And I'm also using NVIDIA RTX voice for the voice capture on my headset. Okay, that's all. I haven't seen this benchmark done in a long time, so I kind of forgot all about all these scenes. Like this one, I don't remember for some reason. So far running pretty good, maintaining about 95 to 100 frames per second. And then my Asus Strix RTX 4090 is overclocked. 200 megahertz on the core, and then the memory is set to 1185. Well, those aren't the absolute max. That's my safe zone, I think, to be 100% stable and not have to like push everything to the limit to benchmark. So, but it is pretty close to the limit. I think my memory goes to 1250 megahertz stable, but I'll just do 1185 since it's a little bit more of a safe zone. after this scene, we'll do 1440p, and then we'll follow that with 1080p, and then in its own separate video, I'll do 8K, because my video editing software just like 8K. It's kind of similar to the Grand Theft Auto benchmark. You know, there's like an explosion closer to the end. You know, the Grand Theft Auto, you got the tanker that explodes. And I just previously recorded some footage of the Grand Theft Auto benchmark, so it kind of reminds me, it's kind of similar on how they're showing, you know, similar scenes, only it's, you know, obviously different point of time. But it's kind of interesting how they did that. Like this bridge scene here is kind of like the train tracks at the end of, not the end, but, you know, towards the middle. That's kind of cool. Okay, so minimum frames per second 13. That's kind of interesting. So max 186, average 106. Alright, so then let's go back to the menu here, and then let's go to 1440p resolution. And then of course I already showed you earlier that the settings are fully maxed out. I'll briefly scroll through it just to show you that it's fully maxed out, including all the advanced graphic settings. So VSync is off, all these settings are fully maxed. Water quality always says custom. I have it on the highest setting, but for some reason after you press apply it goes to custom. Not sure why, but I just noticed that. But it's always on high, so just so you understand that. Even though it says custom, it's actually at the highest setting. So water quality, yeah, everything is fully maxed out. And then all the advanced graphic settings fully maxed out here. And then of course MSAA is off. Now this thing always comes down. I'm not sure why. Maybe because when I adjust the water quality, but we'll just go ahead and apply it just to make sure it's enabled. So let's run the benchmark, and then we'll see how 1440p runs. And then following this, we'll do 1080p. And then this scene takes a little while to load, even running to Western Digital SN850s and RAID 0. And I realized the reason why is because it's loading up all those scenes, which are all separate screens to load. So it's probably the longest loading I've ever seen in this game is this benchmark loading scene. And then again, for those of you who skipped through the video, my i9 1300KF is at 5.7 GHz all-core overclock with the E core set to 4.5. And then my GPU, Asus Strix RTX 4090, is at a 200 MHz core overclock offset, and the memory is 1185. All the latest NVIDIA drivers, all the latest Windows updates, all the latest BIOS updates, and everything is fully updated. So I'll be quiet and you guys enjoy. And I'm using NVIDIA Shadow Play, which may bring down the frames per second slightly, and I'm also using NVIDIA Voice, RTX Voice, which also uses a little bit of the GPU power. Okay, enjoy. Okay, so that's 1440p. Next we'll test 1080p, and then we'll close out the video, and then in a separate video I'll do 8K resolution. So minimum 38, max 199, average 157. Not bad. Okay, so now let's just go to 1080p here. So resolution, we'll go to 1080p, 1920 by 1080p. And of course all the graphic settings are basically at the same settings they were prior. I will just briefly scroll through it to make sure, because obviously I'm changing resolution here, but from what I'm seeing, everything looks like it's still the same setting. And then of course NVIDIA DLSS was off for all these tests, no cheating. Okay, so let's run the benchmark. And then following this video, I'll do 8K, and that'll be a separate video, which will be on its own, since my video editing software doesn't like 8K. And for those of you who skip around, my i9 1300KF is at 5.7 GHz all-core overclock with the E-core set to 4.5 GHz, and I'm running 32 GB of G.Skill Z5 DDR5 PC6400 RAM, and then my Asus Strix RTX 4090 is overclocked 200 MHz on the core offset, and memory is at 1185. Fan I'm running at 100%, and then I'm using all the latest NVIDIA drivers. I am using NVIDIA Shadowplay for recording, and an NVIDIA RTX Voice also for the voiceover on my headset, which uses a little bit of the GPU power as well as the Shadowplay, so keep that in mind. Alright, so 1080p, here we go. I'll be quiet and you guys enjoy. And then following this, like I said, it'll be 8K, but it'll be its own separate video. So this will further tax the CPU. Which is the whole point of running a lower resolution, even though I'm on such a high-end graphics card. And again, I apologize for not making a lot of videos this week. It's been a busy work week, so I just had a little bit of time to record these video clips, and then the weekend is usually when I put out more videos. So if you have any particular games you want to see, just let me know, and we'll take things from there. So.
How you been, friend?
The usual. What did you expect?
Engines call that bad medicine.
I always like this scene here. It has really nice lighting effects. Even at 1080p, it still looks really good. I just like the mood and tone of the town and the lighting and the train in the background. I kind of like that little scene there. It's one of my favorites in this benchmark. But I'll tell you what, even at 1080p, this game still looks really good, you know? It's interesting, that scene there where he shoots the second guy. He shot him at a different time that time, so it looks like it's a little bit different. Little different timing from the earlier scenes I saw at 1440p and 4K. Because previously he shot the second guy after he moved a little, so I thought that was interesting to see, which I didn't notice until now. So it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, where, you know, in Grand Theft Auto the cars are random. So I guess some of the scene is a little bit randomized, but for the most part it's still going to be the same. Okay, so that's 1080p, so thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support, and I apologize for not making videos more often, and I'll see you guys for the next video, which will be the 8K resolution Red Dead Redemption 2 test. So thank you for all the support, stay positive in life, and see you guys for the next video. So minimum frames per second, 34, max T24, average 177. See you guys for the next video, which will be 8K Red Dead Redemption 2. Peace out.